Welcome students, April 7, Quarter 3, Week 6 with Teacher Nell. Making a stand in relation to one's responsibilities. Part 2. The most essential learning competencies 18. Express one's beliefs, convictions based on a material view. The enabling competency. Make a stand on the material view. In the previous lesson, you've learned how to express and stand for your own values and beliefs. Now, look at the given set of pictures carefully. Give the word that will best describe the set by choosing from the boxed letters. Write your answer on your paper. What makes people blank from one another? How will it affect you? In this lesson, you will read an excerpt of a story on how to stand up for what you believe in despite differences. The author, Carlos Bulosan, used his voice to promote human rights through his writing. First, read the Convention on the Rights of the Child declared by United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund or UNICEF. It is written there that parents have responsibilities which fulfill and provide for the rights of all the children in the world, including the Philippines. Some of these declarations include the following. Number 1. Family guidance as children develop. Governments should let families and communities guide their children so that as they grow up, they learn to use their rights in the best way. The more children grow, the less guidance they will need. Number 2, keeping families together. Children shouldn't be separated from their parents unless they are not being properly looked after. For example, if a parent hurts or does not take care of a child, children whose parents don't live together should stay in contact with both parents unless this might harm the child. Number 3, responsibility of parents. Parents are the main people responsible for bringing up a child. When the child does not have any parents, another adult will have this responsibility and they are called a guardian. Parents and guardians should always consider what is best for that child. Governments should help them. Where a child has both parents, both of them should be responsible for bringing up the child. Number 4, health, water, food, environment. Children have the right to the best health care possible. Clean water to drink, healthy food, and a clean and safe environment to live in. All adults and children should have information about how to stay safe and healthy. They also have time to rest, play, culture, arts. Every child has the right to rest, relax, play, and to take part in cultural and creative activities. As a student, you are already capable of presenting your own views in various platforms like sharing and liking posts on social media. As a result, it is important that you know how to express your views on social concerns and issues. To express your views more clearly, you can use sentence starters. For example, I believe this because. I think this is. And I am not sure about this because. When sharing your views with someone, You can respectfully ask questions to each other to explain your ideas and opinions. To help frame questions, sentence starters can be used. Some examples are: I did not understand what you mean when you said. Can you rephrase or restate that? What I heard you say, I thought, is that correct? Have you thought of? So this time you are going to read the excerpt from the short story My Father Goes to Court by Carlos Bulosan, and you are going to find out how the narrator's father fulfilled his responsibilities to his family. So about the author, so Carlos Sampayan Bulosan, November 24, 1913, died September 11, 1956, was an English language Filipino novelist and poet who emigrated to America on July 1, 1930. He never returned to the Philippines and he spent most of his life in the United States. So this story was narrated by a 4-year-old kid whose family lived in a small town of Bulosan. The farm of his father was destroyed by a natural calamity, which is flood. That is the reason why they preferred to live in a new place. They had a rich man neighbor. His children rarely go outside. Their house so tall, where their family can watch the kids' house. The rich man's servants were always cooking some delicious food like fried chicken, ham, and bacon. The kids' family inhaling the heavenly spirit of those foods. The narrator's family always band outside the sun in bathing in the river. They always had a good time and a contagious laugh, and some people joined their bonding, while the rich man only watched them. As they passed on, the rich man's family had a problem. The children became thin. The wife had a cough like the rich man. There was an opposite effect in the narrator's family. They became bright and healthy. Their sickness was not in the food, because their servants always frying something delicious to eat. After that, their house was always closed, but the aroma of the food was still drifted by the wind. One morning, a policeman knocked on the door of the narrator's house. The rich man had a complaint to them, because they were accused by stealing the spirit of the wealth and food. When the trial came, the narrator's family came first. After a few minutes, the rich man's family came with a lawyer. Their body was so thin and they looked sick. The narrator's father didn't have any lawyer. He fight it on his own. The trial starts. The lawyer questioned the narrator's father. In the first question, the father didn't agree that they stole the spirit of the wealth and the food. The father agreed in the second question, where he stated that their family hung outside the rich man's house and inhaled the food. He also agreed that when the rich man's family became sick, their family became strong and healthy. The rich man's children went in shy. They are really thin and look like sick. When it is time for the rich man, the narrator's father was the one who questioned him. The rich man agreed that while their family having fun, the rich man's family became worse and sad, and they also stole the spirit of their wealth. He also agreed that the narrator's family stole the spirit of their food by hanging outside their windows while their servants cooking the food. The narrator's father committed to pay the rich man. He took the straw hat and collected some centavo in silver coins around the courtroom. When the father is ready, he went to the rich man and shook the hat in front of the rich man. He asked the man if he heard the spirit of money, and the rich man agreed. In that case, the father told to the man that he had already paid. After that, the case was dismissed. The judge told the narrator's father the story where his uncle died because of laughing. The judge liked to hear narrator's family laughing. The kid's sister started to laugh, and all of the people in the courtroom laughed, and the judge's laugh was the loudest of all. Alright, so learning task 1. After reading the excerpt, answer the following questions. Number 1. How is the narrator's family different from the rich man's family? List down at least 3 characteristics. Number 2. Why did the rich man complain about the narrator's family? And number 3. How did the narrator's family react to the rich man's complaint? Number 4. How did the narrator's father pay the rich man? Number 5. If you were the narrator's father, would you have done the same thing he did to settle the trial? Explain your answer. And learning task 2, using the pyramid organizer, let us analyze the ending of the story by supplying the needed information. You are going to write your answer on your paper. So you respond to the outcome of the story, the pros and cons of the story's ending, and 3 events that led the story's resolution. For the learning task 3, to explore more about the short story's theme, look at the illustration that follows and answer the question. Write your answers on your paper. Number 1, what does the illustration suggest? Number 2, how is it related to the story? Number 3, who among the characters in the story best symbolizes this picture and why? What Filipino belief or value can help address this issue and why? As a student, how can you help make a change in this kind of situation? Learning task 4. For your final task on a short bond paper, draw your preferred cover illustration of the story you have read. Then, explain in a short paragraph with at least 5 sentences as to why you believe that this best illustrates the whole idea of the story. You may use any medium for your output. Be guided by the criteria below. So for the content, knowledge of the story, design, color, and layout, presentation, neat and presentable, message, paragraph content, and mechanics, spelling, and grammar, for the total score of 50 points. The lesson has shown how parents fulfill their responsibilities to their families, particularly to their children, as well as other Filipino values that go along with such responsibilities, because no family has the same principles. Their ideas of responsibilities toward raising children differ from one another. But the bottom line of the story is there should always be genuine happiness, because if there is happiness inside your heart and within your family as you fulfill your responsibilities, no amount of hardship, poverty, judgment, and any other negativities in life could ever bring you down. And for the assessment, you are going to complete the table below. Write your answer on your paper. So which of the 2 families in the story do you want to belong? Okay? And you're going to give 5 reasons why. On your paper, write your insights about the lesson using the prompts below. I have learned that. I would like to know more about. I enjoyed. Okay, so I'd like to thank Karen Fatima G. Gomez, SDO Tayaba City, for the Learner's Bucket for today. Thank you!